Hi, well, fans, Rick Tyler here. I'm just going to go through the parts you're going to receive with the Octbox MK22 2022 wheelbarrow model, and just go through some of the amendments we've made on last year's successful model. Starting with the rear wheel kit, you're going to have a rear vertical support for the right and left wheels. Each one this year has got its own separate axle, and that'll place the wheels on the outside of the barrow, not on the inside. So if you're looking at older videos, there is a difference there. It's got a height adjustable, which we have started fitting now, spigot that is designed to go into the footplate rails, and a fixed spigot that goes into the height frame. And the reason this has to adjust because different anglers are going to have their height frame set at different points. We have got two ridges here that the bolt on the latest seat boxes from 2018 onwards engage, and that's to fix this in place. If you've got an older seat box that does not have a bolt at the rear of the footplate rails to engage this, what you're going to have to do is drill. This is solid, and what we recommend is you drill a hole through the base of the rails coming up. So once you've got the rear wheel kit fitted and it's all tight and locked in with this spigot, drill a hole through the base, through the solid block, out through the top of the rail, and then pin it with something like a tent peg or something. That will fix that and lock that in place sufficiently to get away. Alternatively, if you wanted to drill a hole and tap that could also be done. Okay, now in terms of the supports, like last year's, and the manual wheel kit will be the same. The handles will go in the top there, and there is a cross brace that then basically connects these two together for extra support. So that's the main differences at the rear. Two manual large wheels, and the handles slot into the top, as we mentioned, and the base is height adjustable. Going on to the motor then, there's some big changes here, as you can imagine. It looks completely different from last year's model. This is showing it from the underside. We now supply it with the battery fitted. You'll notice the battery, the terminals are face down with the terminal to the front, which means it's very easy. We won't have connected the cable, so you will have to connect it. You'll notice there's a red terminal and a black and a positive and a negative on here. Don't worry if you're colourblind. It will not allow you to fix it the wrong way round. That's the battery connected. And finally, the wheels, which are differentials. You'll have one with an R, which means right side as you look from the back, which in this case is the furthest away from the motor. And you'll notice we just line it up with the drive pin. That clicks in place. Do the one at the front. Okay, if we put it the right way up, you'll start to see what I'm talking about. You can see there how the terminals are the wrong way round. Oh, sorry, the terminals are upside down for maximum protection and ease of access. Yeah. So the only other point I'd say is the axles on the rear wheel kit will come with washers. You don't need to, you can take the washers off completely, just fit the wheel straight onto the spacer, tighten the nut up, tighten it to the point where it's not impeding the rotation of the wheel. Yeah, if you find you've tightened it up so tight that the wheel is starting to slow down, so that's nicely in place, rotates nicely. So what we'll do now is we'll move to actually getting the seat box in, and we'll actually show you how the easiest way to fit it onto the actual seat box. Right, I brought the Octbox seat box in. I'm now going to go through fitting the front wheel kit. The big difference to earlier models, we recommend on the MK22 you fit the front module first, and the best way to do that is tip the seat box onto its back first and extend the keep net extension frame. What you're doing then is you're revealing the sockets that the wheel kit's going to engage into. Now I know some people who aren't familiar with Octbox are going to, I'm not going to do that, because if I did that with my box, all my kit's going to go over the place. This is my tackle box. You can see I can turn it upside down, I can shake it all about, and everything still remains where it's supposed to be. And the reason for that is because the drawers are designed that way in mind. So you don't need to worry about tipping on its back, but by doing that, you'll see it's a very simple task to actually just lift the wheel kit up, drop it straight in and lock it. Now the bolts I am fixing and fastening in are big-headed black bolts. If you've got stainless steel bolts fitted, you need to change them, because they will not get enough purchase with those bolts. The vibration will undo them, and then this wheel kit will be going back and forth and smashing into your chassis. So what I can do at this stage is now tip it up. You'll notice as well, when I'm bringing it back, it's coming under the pressure of the gearbox. I can now tip this forward. Yep, if I've got the bar extension fitted, this point I can extend that as well. Yep. And as I tip that up, I can even load my bags on it at this stage. Leaving me the rear socket stood up in the air to actually fix the wheel kit without even bending over. Now you can see the rear of the wheel seat box. It's got the socket in the height frame and the rails where the next bigget's going to go into. First thing I'm going to do, and have to do, is actually draw the footplate rails out to make space for the spigot to go in. So I'll do that now. Now I've got a couple of holes to lock in on the footplate. I like to use the ones in the middle. It's up to you which ones you use. It really comes down to how much you're going to load. You can see here, as we discussed earlier, this is the right hand side, and you can see we've got a spigot that's going to adjust, and the reason that needs to adjust is because the gap between here and here is going to be different for each angler. So first thing I'm going to do is fit the longer spigot at the top, slide it in, okay, lock it in place. You'll notice at this point the major difference on last year's model is the wheels are on the outside of the chassis for more stability. At this point, what I can also do is the electric cable from the front motor can now be bought. And you can see by having it tipped up, I don't even have to bend down. I can literally fit the rear wheel kit without even, goes in nice and quickly, locked in place with the 3 bolts. And then the final job is to actually brace the 2 sides for extra strength with this cross brace. That is electric barra done. When I tip it down, I'm already loaded. All I've got to do now is put my rod bag across the top, bunge it down, ready to go.